On this edition of and a vocational center opens doors for Iraqis. Don't miss these stories and more on today's FJI. On the next edition of Freedom Journal Iraq, cleaning Sadr City of enemy weapons. And Iraqis learn important job skills. On this edition of Freedom Journal Iraq, Sadr City is cleaned up and weapons are on display. And a vocational center opens doors for Iraqis. Don't miss these stories and more on today's FJI. Hello, I'm Air Force Sergeant Braden Smith. Welcome to this edition of Freedom Journal Iraq. Weapons and explosive devices are recovered almost daily in Iraq. These important finds keep neighborhoods safe and the enemy suppressed. Specialist Jesse Delka reports on a significant display of weaponry found in Sadr City and has this report.
Iraqi Army Lieutenant General Aboud Kanbar attended an awesome presentation of the weapons confiscated from Sadr City in recent weeks. The residents of Sadr City were instrumental in locating the caches, which were stored in schools and mosques. Lieutenant Colonel Ahmed Abd al-Hassan of the Iraqi Army's 9th Division explains why the people of Sadr City are eager to help.
The people of Sadr City had big help to us to get rid of all these criminal elements, because these criminals were killing our children and the innocent people.
After cutting the ribbon, General Aboud entered the display and surveyed the scene of more than 250 improvised explosive devices, over 100 explosively formed penetrators, more than 1,400 rifles, and much more. The general, along with a crowd of guests, made their way through row after row of weapons. Lieutenant Colonel Ahmed Abd al-Hassan expressed his gratitude toward the U.S. troops for their help.
Thank you, and thanks for the United States forces to train our soldiers and police forces. The Iraqi forces showed ability to perform their duties.
The removal of these dangerous weapons from the hands of criminals has surely saved many lives. Reporting for Multinational Division Baghdad, I'm Specialist Jesse Delker.
Every service member plays an important role in a combat zone to protect our country's freedom. Only a handful of them can proudly say they took on this journey with man's best friend working by their side. Service members put in long hours of hard work day in and day out. Working dogs also put in their share of hard work. For 6 service members and their working friends in Mosul, Iraq, the partnership is all part of the job. Working dogs are taken good care of in Iraq, explains Sergeant Daniel Fulton out of Fort Carson, Colorado. He says the dogs have air conditioning and a heater. Some canines are used to detect narcotics. Others patrol to find improvised explosive devices or weapons. Because canines are consistently training, they are always mission ready. Canine handlers and their furry, hard-working friends come together on a daily basis in the fight against the insurgents by detecting threats that compromise the safety of coalition forces. Coming up, a vocational center gives Iraqis job skills for their future.
Here's your raid report. Iraqi army soldiers successfully led a joint ground and air assault mission in the village of Mushada. The soldiers detained 4 suspected insurgents during the mission to disrupt enemy operations. Iraqi security forces and U.S. soldiers discovered weapons caches in Baghdad. The caches contained mortar rounds, EFPs, grenades, rocket launchers, and other various uniform items. U.S. soldiers discovered a munitions cache and detained 2 known criminals in the Rashid district of southern Baghdad. A local citizen handed over the munitions to U.S. forces. Iraqi and coalition forces found 5 roadside bombs across the Nineveh province. 2 of the roadside bombs were destroyed before they could detonate. The other 3 detonated but were ineffective. And that's your raid report. I'm Petty Officer Patrick Dilley.
Here are the latest Operation Iraqi Freedom headlines. The government of Iraq invited 35 international oil companies to bid on contracts to provide services, technology, and training to boost production at 6 oil and 2 gas fields. Production is already at its highest since March 2003. A government of Iraq spokesman said Prime Minister Maliki and Vice President Hashimi agreed on the names of candidates to fill ministerial posts allotted to the Iraqi Accord Front. According to the Christian Science Monitor, despite recent attacks, security in the Anbar province has improved and signs of rebirth are everywhere. The Turkish Minister of Trade said his country intends to increase investment in Iraq's energy and power sectors and open new rail lines linking Iraq and Europe. Those are your headlines from around the region. I'm Airman First Class Shaylin Jordan.
From Havre de Grace, Maryland. My name is Bridget Layton. I'm the manager of the Office of Tourism. Havre de Grace is a river town. It is located at the end of the Susquehanna River, opens to the Chesapeake Bay. The town was named by Marquis de Lafayette. It means Harbor of Grace. This is a canal that started a series of 29 locks that led to Wrightsville, Pennsylvania. Very important to the commerce to bring wheat and timber and coal to the settlers north. Because of the waterfowl in this area, the Decoy Museum was built in 1986. We have some of the best decoy carvers in the world, and they house their works of art here at the museum. This memorial at Tidings Park is dedicated to veterans of all wars. We thank you for serving, and if you're ever in Maryland, come by and see us.
From Maryland, thank you for serving.
A newly built Iraqi vocational training center teaches men a variety of skills that they can use to better themselves and the community. Marine Corporal Sean Kuhlman takes us to a graduation ceremony where Iraqis are better prepared for their future.
A newly built vocational training center in Husayb, Iraq, recently graduated 244 Iraqi men trained in a variety of 12 independent disciplines. Built last year by Iraqi contractors, the vocational center teaches the Iraqi men skills for future employment opportunities.
Not everybody out here is all guns and ammo. That these are ground level, grassroots level. Let's get small businesses. Let's get entrepreneurship. Let's give people a leg up so they can make a better future for the region. The biggest thing is employing people. Is idle workers will find other means to support their family. I mean, people lose sight of the fact that the Iraqis, they're just like everybody else. They want a secure future. They want to put food on their table. They want 4 walls, a roof over their head. And if they can't get the means, get it through legitimate means, they'll look to other ways to support their family. They don't want to lose honor to their family. They don't want to, most of us are fortunate enough not to know hunger on a regular basis. However, these kids do. And if dad can't provide, that's not, at one point he's going to be, that's enough. I'm going to do something that's going to put food on the table for my children. So this whole entire program is to help fight that and make them weld a school desk together, or how to repair an engine versus digging holes or taking shots. There's 12 independent disciplines, and they rotate onto relevance that would help improve the economy and the lives of locals. The programs are very much in demand, and often we are getting 2 and 3 times the amount of applicants for the number of participants they can allow.
2nd Battalion, 2nd Marines, Regimental Combat Team 5, oversaw the 3rd period of instruction taught to the Iraqi men here. The latest cycle of instruction covered newly added classes, including masonry and metal winding, which were chosen by student surveys. The 4th cycle is scheduled to begin July 1st.
The whole program is not about us. It's not about how good we look. It's not about how good the government looks. It's all about the needs of the people. If we can sway the needs of the people, we can actually, that's more important.